Today's episode of the Just Keep Swimming podcast is brought to you by Audible. Audible is an online audiobook and podcast service offering over 10,000 books and the ability to listen to your favorite podcasts, including the Just Keep Swimming podcast. I personally use Audible all the time and suggest you take a listen to Intentional Living by John C. Maxwell. In this book, Mr. Maxwell shares his story on how he was able to live a noble and purposeful life and gives you tips and tricks so you can do the same. So please start your 30-day free trial now at www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast, all lowercase. Again, that is www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast. And if you have any more questions or concerns for the Just Keep Swimming podcast, you're always welcome to reach out to us on Facebook or at Instagram at justkkeepswimming_podcast, or you can email us at jkspodcast702@gmail.com. And with that out the way, let's dive into it. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Just Keep Swimming podcast. This is your friend, your boy, your host, Mr. Adrian Jackson, and we back at it again with another great episode for you. And you already know who I got with me. It's the man, the myth, the legend. It's Mr.
Captain Capper,
a.k.a.
number 13.
Ooh, he choking up.
I did. I was like, whoa, what am I?
I was like, whoa, you can't remember your nicknames, bro? That is deep.
That sickness got me messed up. This wind out here wild, bro.
I know, man. That windstorm last night, man. Look, you walked outside the studio, you saw that big old the car parking thing broken down.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, wow, the tree by my house is gone. Like, it's just gone. Left the root and everything. It's just gone, bro. So it's so wild. But glad to have you back, though. Glad you're feeling better and have you back with us in the room again today.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me. And, like, shoot, as you guys can see, we're actually in the studio now.
Right. And we live again, baby, as always.
Yep.
So we have a very, very special episode coming to you guys again, as always. And we have another very special guest. This right here goes way back with me from a long time. We actually went to the same high school together, got in a lot of trouble together. But you know what? We're doing really big things right now. You wouldn't thought we went through anything. You know, we walked out of the fire without the smell of smoke. So just want to bring to the microphone to my amazing guest, Miss Ayumi. Ayumi, how we doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Glad to see your face. It's been so long.
It's been so long.
Was like 15 years, 16 years?
Yeah, that's the time I was probably getting kicked out of class.
What?
Ayumi was a character.
I was the class clown, but the teacher didn't like me.
Yeah.
He hated me.
I don't think she was ever a class clown. She was just a free spirit. Let's say that.
I don't remember. Is that what it was?
It was a free spirit. You were very unique in your own way.
I still am. I'm the same person.
Gotta love it. And I love that. You know, nothing changed at all.
Nothing changed.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of age, and that's it. That's a little bit. But we're getting better like fine wine, baby.
That's right.
Yes, I love it. So, Ayumi, thank you so much for joining us today. The reason we brought you on is I've been noticing you for a while, and I know you're a really big social influencer now. And I kind of just want to discuss like what it is to be a social influencer, how you got on that path, how do you like it, your dreams with it, just a little discussion about what it is to do what you already do.
Yeah.
So, is it cool if we talk about that today?
Of course.
Perfect. So, let's just start off with a very simple question. And for you, why are you a social influencer? Like, what are you trying to get out of this?
Why am I a social media influencer? Since I was a child, I always wanted to help people. So I was like, I don't know if it's going to be a doctor or a dentist. I don't know. Like, I just now want to inspire or just change and help people.
Right.
So this was an accident. So basically, I had a couple of friends in Atlanta, Georgia, and they have a teenage daughter, and they're like, you know, these YouTubers, they making millions. And I'm talking about these 18, 19-year-olds, they making guap. And I'm like, how? And she's just like, look at them. They have this penthouse, this Tesla. And she's like, I think you should do it. Like, you have big energy, a big personality. And I'm like, I'm going to look into it. So I started researching about it, and I'm like, dang, people are making millions of dollars just by showing their life, or, just simple things that I thought it was easy, but it's not. So I was like, I'm gonna get this started, period,
Right.
And I became a YouTuber with my husband at the time, and we failed. We failed with flying colors.
Really?
Like, we probably after 3 years got 1,000 subscribers of like working super hard. We didn't give up, but I'm like, okay, it's not as easy as it looks. So then the pandemic hit, and TikTok started popping. So I'm like, look, like all these people, they gained 50,000 followers in like a month. I'm like, let's try it.
Right.
Did it. 100,000 followers, like
wow.
that.
Like
so
that.
yeah, I was just like, okay, we're getting somewhere. And then like Reels popped off on Instagram, and like from there I just started growing, and I noticed that people are like, this is inspiring. Like I love learning about this or that, or seeing your family dynamic. And then I found out my daughter was autistic, and I shared that, and I was just really vulnerable, and I think that inspired others to make them feel better, or they can relate to me.
Right.
So that was really rewarding. And, I'm able to message my followers directly, and, they ask for advice, and I'm not able to do that anymore because it's like too much now, but at the time I was able to. But still, I try my best to respond to comments and like with a video, and just educate, teach, inspire, all of that. So I think that's like one of my callings.
That's beautiful.
So I was gonna ask, like, from when you did like your YouTube, and then when you started going on TikTok and like using the Instagram Reels, what was like the difference in content that caused you to fail in YouTube, but allowed you to flourish within TikTok?
Right.
Yeah, so YouTube is definitely a very different platform than TikTok. So YouTube was long form, always been like the long form OG.
Yeah.
So at the time, I had no idea what I was doing. So I'm just copying everyone. Like, okay, let's do pranks. Like, these people are going viral, so let's do pranks.
Right.
But I wasn't doing anything that was like for me,
Right,
unique. I'm, like that made me happy. I'm just like, I just want to get views. So when you try to just get views, like it doesn't ever work out.
Right.
Like people could tell when it's authentic. So that's where, we were failing, like just not having like a unique niche, trying to copy these teenagers. I'm in my 30s, like, what are you doing?
Right.
So like I should have been doing something else, but with TikTok, it's short form, and Reels is short form. So it's easier to go viral because the attention span is like this.
Right.
Versus YouTube, if they're not watching the first 30 seconds, like that, it doesn't even count as a view.
Right.
So like that's it. So the algorithm is not going to push it. So like TikTok and Instagram, it's easier to go viral because you got 10 seconds. At the time it was like 10-second videos. Bam. I could dance, I could do something silly. It's more like high-paced entertainment versus YouTube is like sharing a story or a vlog.
Right.
So it's like totally different platforms.
Right.
If that makes sense.
No, and that's interesting because that's what I've been knowing and trying to transition with right now. We are on YouTube Live right now, which you're watching us on. But I have been trying to transition to get the TikTok stuff going. And I noticed the little video with Brandon I posted, just that one time posting it, we got like 2K views in a day.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow,
that's
that
where
was
it's
fast.
at. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what we're really trying to do. So one of my questions for you is, how do you keep up with all this energy that it takes to be a social influencer? Like, in your videos, you're dancing, you're getting dressed, you're at parties, you're at events. Like, how do you get all this energy to do all that?
Man. When I say, like, people don't understand this is like a 24/7 job. The good thing about a 9 to 5 is you're 9 to 5. Before that, you're good, and after that, you're good.
Right.
With me, there's events and there's brand collaborations. There's always something for me to do. And with this high-paced industry, like, you have to post every day.
Right.
Like, you have to post everything. So, like, every day, all day, like, if something's happening, like, I got to record this. I got to share this story. It's a lot. It's a lot. Sometimes it's very overwhelming, and people will see that behind the scenes. Like they don't see me working till 2:00 in the morning editing these videos for brands and stuff because I'll talk about that later about brand collaborations, which a lot of people don't know, but that's how a lot of us make money. It's not from views; it's from the brand deals. But you just have to have discipline and like a schedule. Like it's very hard to have a schedule, but my advice that I would give to others is like having a filming day. Like Monday, Tuesday, we're gonna film. Wednesday, Thursday, we're gonna edit. Thursday, Friday, we're gonna write down ideas for content. Like that. I feel like that is like the most successful way
to make it happen.
But if it depends on your niche. So if you're like a vlogging person, how you can't vlog 20 videos that day because you vlog the day and that's it. So like with me, I kind of do vlogs too. So I kind of have to still film every day. But if I do dancing videos, I could do 10 dancing videos and change. Like people don't know how to change. Right. And like, you're right, there's 10 videos, but it's a lot harder when you have kids and life and schedules and appointments and all of that. But it's challenging. I think also once you get a certain size, you have to hire help. So I do have an assistant like on call, or I do have a team behind scenes. So I have a management who manages my emails, my brand collaborations, my money. So like I contact them for ideas or something like that. But you have to have a team. You have to have a team. I used to have editors when I did do YouTube. So, just outsourcing. So that's like my biggest advice is like outsourcing so you could have more time to make more content so you can be happier and, have that authentic content where you're not like burnt out.
Right. And be able to enjoy all the stuff that you're creating.
Exactly.
Like what's the point of making it all if you can't enjoy it?
And you're like miserable.
I feel like it kind of takes away like some of that invasiveness that it feels like, okay, if you're always commenting back or, you're filming, editing, and then you're trying to respond to your followers and stuff like that. It's
mentally draining. Like I said, it's an all-day job. Right. And right now I'm working on balancing all of that because things always change, like there's always events that pop out of nowhere. So it's like, how can I keep a schedule of tomorrow? They're like, we need you at the Bellagio. Okay. Right. So like, you have to be really flexible, but it's something that I'm working on too, like trying to be more organized and stuff.
Right. No, I understand that. So I think something you really threw out there, the idea of having a team, that was actually one of my questions. And I think that right there is a great thing we can talk on next. Like, what exactly does your team do? Because, me personally, I always thought the same thing. You just set up the camera.
Right, and that's
you record 2 videos, change the shirt, record 2 more, and then, okay, I'm going to edit and start posting.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, I'm like, what does a team actually do for you?
Adrian, move your mic closer.
Sorry.
Every creator is different. For me at this time, I did have like a on-call personal assistant. So I have a personal assistant, a talent manager, a campaign manager, 3 accountants, and that's it right now. So as far as like the assistant, I just tell her, hey, girl, Knott's Berry Farm, they need me to film an ad. You're going to come with me. Follow me to the camera, give me some ideas, and it's way faster than trying to put a tripod in the middle of a crowd.
Right.
And like, all right, people's walking by, gotta do it again, So it's so much more helpful, and she's amazing. Like, she just followed me and like, all right, you guys do this and this and that, and she also was helping me with like posting on multiple platforms. A lot of people don't know that I post on like 5-6 platforms. Oh, wow. The same content. The same content. Yes. So as far as my campaign manager is the one who negotiates my brand deals, the one who manages my emails, and then my talent manager is the one who keeps up with the content that I'm putting out.
Like trends and stuff like, or?
Yeah, she could do that too, but right now she's more focused on like my brand deal content. So basically like, hey girl, don't forget you got this video to edit. Hey, you know, the brand wants this or that. They want to, you know, want you to change this, you know, so that's her job. And then my 3 accountants, I have a social media accountant for my brand deals, and then I have a CPA for taxes, and then I have a bookkeeper.
Everything. That's crazy.
For all of that, you know, it's a lot. You know, it's a business. I have an S corp, and people don't know that. Like they think it's just, you know, we chilling. Like no, it's a real business.
Especially when you start making that much money.
Exactly. I have a payroll. I hire people. Like I'm running a business. Like I have, you know, workers and stuff like that. So it's a real business, and I think a lot of people have no idea about it behind scenes. They think, you know, like you don't have a real job. You're just making stupid dances. Yeah. And I'm like, no, it's a lot more science to it, and it's a real business, and it's a booming business at that. Like you should hop on it. Like low key, you want to hate, but if you knew like what it comes with, I think you would be interested to, you know, try it out. So
no, I understand, and I see it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you're not struggling. You know what I'm saying? You're not struggling at all. You're enjoying life. You always have a smile on your face, and you keep giving us amazing content.
Oh,
so,
thank you.
Yeah, no,
hey, you guys got a couple questions from the audience.
Okay.
Oh yes, perfect.
Hey.
Quick question, Trev.
Yeah.
Should she raise her chair up a little bit?
I look too short.
No, I think it's fine. I could zoom in more.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead and throw out some questions for it, brother.
So from V Jackson.
Thanks, mother.
The first question, how do you deal with possible invasion of privacy as you become well known? And then the second question is, do you have low view days, and how does that affect you?
Yeah, so when it comes to privacy and safety, I'm very careful. I make sure, like, I don't film the front of my house or, like, you know, things that people will know, like, oh, I know her house, because influencers, they always get their house discovered.
Right.
And then bad things happen after that. So
Those doxers are scary.
so a lot of stalkers and crazy. I haven't had nothing like that yet.
Amen.
In my old apartment, when I stayed there, like, temporarily, people figured out, like, because there's not a lot of penthouses that look like that. So, like, oh, we know that one. Like, you're my neighbor, girl. I'm like, oh. And they, like, commented in the comments, like, you live here. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, why would you comment? Like, oh, I used to live there. So, like, that was annoying. But you just have to be careful and have, like, awareness when you're filming when it comes to that. And, of course, like, my kids, I make sure I never film their school or their uniform or things like that. I make sure my kids are comfortable with everything I post. If they don't want to film, I'm not that type of mom. Oh, we gotta, nope.
Right.
You know, so, you know, I try to not film them a lot, but people really like them. Like, I get bad views when they're not in the videos, but my audience loves my kids.
Oh, wow.
So they are so, like, educated about this industry that they probably know more than the average adult. Like, she's like, is that a collaboration? Like, oh, you know, like, my daughter's like, how much percent am I getting for this one? I'm like, oh, gosh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, like, my kids know about how it works, how it's a business, and they're very involved. But of course, when it comes to their mental health and everything, and like, I know videos will last forever. So I don't want to post anything that makes them like regret it in the future and stuff like that. I don't share things that they wouldn't want me to share. And as far as views, I get low views all the time. I get low views all the time. The good thing is that I don't get paid for views. Like TikTok, kind of. Like, TikTok is interesting, but I'm not working off of views. There's some creators who do, and like their focus is on views and instead of brand deals. But with me, you know, I'm not a YouTuber, so I just make income from brand deals. So if I get 1,000 views every day, which I do sometimes on my TikTok, it's okay. Like, brands, they, you know, of course they will like me to get more views, but they're more interested in the quality of content, and they're more interested in my brand. So, like, brands like me because I'm family friendly. I'm relatable, and they could see their products in my videos. I'm not doing nothing ratchet. I'm not doing nothing crazy. Like, why would Walmart want to work with me if I'm over here like doing crazy pranks and stuff? Like, that's gonna mess up their brand.
Right.
So when it comes to views, it doesn't really matter, but it does help. Like, if your engagement is high, like they'll like give them a better reason to like pay more. If that makes sense.
No, understandable. So, how does is it hard for you to blend their brand with your brand at times, or do you only like accept brands that go with you? You feel?
Oh yeah. If there's a brand that doesn't align with my page, I don't care how much money. Like, I decline because it's gonna hurt me. So, for example, KY Jelly hit me up.
Oh wow! Wow.
Yeah, KY Jelly hit me up, and they're like, 40, 50 bands, like for a video or something. I'm like, that's good money. Okay, but that would like mess up my brand. Like, I'm like, and then other brands like, oh nah, she's talking about inappropriate things and she got kids and stuff like that. So like, I decline certain brands that don't align with my niche, and that happens all the time. Like, I'm like, dang, that's some good money, but you know what? That don't align with my brand, so no. So I only do collaborate with brands that align with me.
That keeps up with your authenticity too,
Yeah.
and gives you like a peace of mind.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah, because you want to be proud of what you represent.
Exactly.
And what they do. Like, if you're, it's like somebody came on here and try to represent drugs and guns.
Exactly.
No, not with the Just Keys podcast.
I was going to say that one time when we had the one potential guest, but we were trying to interview her, see what is she really trying to talk about, and it's like, well, that's not aligning with our positivity.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that was crazy. So she saw the podcast and she just wanted to jump on to promote her brand, her OnlyFans, and it's like, oh, good job hustling. I'm proud of you, but not on here, no. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. And then once she realized we weren't live, it was like, oh, she would just kind of stepped away, and it was like, oh, you trying to twerk on camera? Huh?
Oh, no, not twerk on camera.
That's the feeling we got. So crazy.
You guys got a couple more questions from the audience too.
Yeah,
Okay.
So from Miss Jessica, what is your target audience? And then another one from V Jackson. Do you have a fallback interest if you decide to call it quits on being a public entity?
Oh, good question.
So the first one, let's start with the target audience.
Yeah, I do have a target audience. It's millennials. Like millennials, I'll say the top one is millennial moms, and then it's just like millennials in general. I noticed that Gen Z and Alpha thinks my content is super boring, like they hate it. So my audience is around like, I'll say 25 to 45.
Okay.
Is like, I'll say 35 is like the perfect medium. But yeah, that's my target audience. I talk about mom stuff. I talk about millennial music. I love my millennial music. And it's not going to relate to Gen Alpha, like, so like, I don't listen to Young Jock, like, okay. And exactly. And it's not, my kids, my daughter, she's 13, and she's like, your videos are so boring and cringy. And I'm just like, yeah, they are, but some people like it. Some people love it. And then as far as like a backup plan, if, eventually, I'm not going to do this forever. I know I'm not going to do this forever, but yeah, I do real estate investing, or I was starting it and then I stopped because my business started popping too much, so I didn't have time. But I'm going to do real estate investing again, and then I want to do e-commerce. There's like a lot of things I want to do, like maybe courses, teach other people how to become an influencer. I have a couple of friends, Lex and Keish, do you know them? They went to high school with us.
Lex sounds familiar for sure.
Yeah, Lexi, she was on Dance Team with me. Like, they were my first like client that I was like, okay, I'm gonna see if my strategy works. They got over 100,000 followers now. Wow. They're getting brand deals. So I'm like, I know what I'm talking about.
Right, I know what you're doing.
So I need to help these other moms or help other people out here who, especially like stay-at-home moms. I'm like, you need to be making money. You're gonna make more money than your husband, like easily. So like, I do want to come out with courses and classes or whatever to teach others how to do it. I feel like nobody knows that this job exists, and especially like if you're a stay-at-home mom, like you could be using that time to record you being a stay-at-home mom and make money at the same time. So yeah, I just want to help others.
No, so to kind of like piggyback off of like the first question, so did you, when you started doing like, I guess, your TikTok content, did you have a target audience in mind? And if you didn't, or in general too, how did you find that target audience?
On TikTok?
On TikTok or in general too, yeah.
I was freestyling.
Just freestyling?
I had no idea what I was doing. I'm just like, will this video make me go viral? Like, I had no niche. Like, I still struggling with the niche thing, I'm not gonna lie. But like, I had no niche. Like, I didn't see it as a business. I just seen it as like, I'm so desperate for views. Like, I just had no idea how social media worked. Like, I didn't know how to grow a community. I didn't know how to grow like a fan base. Like, I just thought you get views and you're good. But eventually, I'm just such a hard worker that I just watched thousands of videos, studied thousands of pages all night, every day, like how to grow and things like that. And I'm like studying other successful influencers and I'm taking notes, like what are they doing? Because how they have this like cult following that are they're ride or die, and how did these people make this money? So after doing my research, I'm like, oh, I'm posting like ratchet stuff. Not ratchet, but like some of the music might have cursing in it. And like my pranks might be stupid or inappropriate. I'm like, brands don't want to work with me. So I'm like, oh. So I just started doing research, and then I'm like, oh, you need a niche. Duh. So from there, that's when I started to educate myself and learn and, mold my brand to where I am now. But people just don't understand that I was doing this since 2017.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't get paid until 2021, 2022. So I was just doing this for free. And the problem with most people, they give up after a couple months of failing.
Right.
So with me, I'm like, no, I'm not going to fail. Like, it's took years of hard work and failing. I'm like, I'm going to figure it out. I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to continue to keep trying. And then I think 2021 is when I first got like my first brand email, like, how much you charge? I'm like,
let's do it.
Yeah. I was like, okay, we up from here. Like, hard work paid off.
No, that's beautiful. And I think that right there is like the definition of just keep swimming. The idea that I have this dream, this goal in mind, and no matter how long it's going to take, I'm going to keep going until it starts to pay off for me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what we're doing with the podcast right now. We what are we on 3.5 years now?
About like just a little over 3 years.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, we just been doing it for free just for the love of it.
Exactly.
And then people started reaching out to us and like, yo, we want to help you grow. We want to help you get there. We see you guys. We want to be on your show. And it was like, oh, wow. So we're doing something right. And people are starting to notice now. So
Amazing.
I love that.
I was going to say, look where we are now. Like,
right, exactly. Exactly. The music behind me got me giving that amp. Yeah, so let's start to go a little deeper now, Ayumi. So one of my main questions for you is, did you see yourself doing this, back in high school time, younger days? Like, did you even think this was a possibility for you?
It's funny. I don't know if you know this, but we used to do YouTube, me and Brandy.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yeah, y'all did do YouTube videos. I think everybody tried a little taste of YouTube.
So we used to do YouTube, and we loved it. Like, it's so funny. Like, we were just doing it for fun just because YouTube was like a new thing. And we would do like funny, stupid skits. They were so stupid and inappropriate. But anyways, everybody at school the next day like, we seen y'all video. Y'all was funny. Like, that is so funny. And I love that. Like, I just love making other people happy and laugh and stuff like that. So like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, since I was a kid, I'm like, I want to be like a star. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I have too much personality. I'm too funny. I, just have too much energy to not be someone.
Right.
So, like, honestly, yes, I did. I just didn't know how. I'm like, I can't sing. I'm like, maybe I could be like Beyonce's backup dancer or something. But I ended up going in the army instead. So that didn't happen. But yeah, I low-key knew, like, I wanted to be someone, so it's, like, kind of my dreams to do this.
That's perfect. Because you sound just like Brandon Marshall. If you haven't listened to this episode, go back and check it out. Perseverance, yes. But he said the same thing. He was like, I always knew I wanted to play football. Like, I've been doing this my whole life. So it's like, it's only right that I made it to the NFL because I always had this dream.
Right.
And it sounds like you always had this dream to, not going to say be an entertainer, but just be a superstar.
Yeah, something.
Something, you know.
I'm not a superstar, but I just wanted to entertain or like, you know, I'm like, I don't know
You
what
like
I'm
to
going to
share
do.
smiles.
Yeah, I want to make people happy. I want to inspire. I want to perform. I want to be in front of the stage, TV, whatever. But I knew I wanted to do something. I just didn't know what exactly. But yeah.
So then a follow-up question with that now. So like you said, now that where you are now, do you have a lot of quote-unquote haters coming out the woodworks that say, oh, she shouldn't be there, she's not even that funny? Or, you know, people that was like, how did she get like this? I knew her when she was younger and she wasn't like that. Like, how do you deal with that? Yeah. How do you deal with that?
Of course, when it comes to people that like personally knew me from high school and stuff like that, either A, they just stopped being my friends for some reason, like just stopped talking to me out of nowhere, like I don't know why.
Right.
I have a lot of friends that I went to college with or in the military with. They watch every single video, every single story, don't comment, no nothing. Like I just think it's weird. Like we used to be best friends. Like why you don't talk to me no more? So it's weird. Like as I noticed that the bigger I got, the more people stopped talking to me. I don't know if they're insecure and they think, oh, like she's too big, I don't want to talk to her no more. Or, you know, I don't know if it's that. But I still comment on their stuff. Go girl, you know, like. But I don't get the same energy back for some reason. And as far as like people from high school hating, not really. It's the opposite. They trying to be my friend now. Like the people who were hating, they're like, hey girl, you know, like trying to be my bestie. I'm like, no. Right, no, you did talk, you just bullied me. Like you bullied me and now you want to be my friend. I think that's very odd.
Right.
And of course there's strangers. There's like strangers who, you're not funny, you're so cringy, and you know, you don't have a real job, you got your money from your husband and all these lies. I'm like, no, this money's for me. What are you talking about? Like, what husband? I'm single. You know, there's like always people assume like, oh look, she's just making videos while her husband's making all this money. I'm like, what husband?
You know? And it's funny, like, I mean, even though we don't get that type of content, but just going through social media, like myself, and just looking at the comments on people's videos.
It's so mean, right?
It's so mean. I'm like, where are
For
y'all
what?
getting this hate from? Like, if you don't have nothing to say, just don't say anything at all. Like,
It's
just leave it alone. But you're promoting them by commenting. And making all
Exactly. They
this
don't know.
controversy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you're boosting up my algorithm. Go ahead, period. You know. But yeah, people. I just learned. It's like for me, social media is like a social experiment. And I
love it.
It's like psychology, and I notice what does well, what doesn't go well. So one thing I learned is negativity sells. So like if you say negative, like a negative story, that thing gonna go viral.
Right.
Versus me being like, ooh, I got this brand new, all right, like I'm on the red carpet, like you see my views, nothing. But let's just say I'm getting a foreclosure, that's about to go viral. Like, dang, she go to, oh, that's what she get.
Finally, I feel that.
That's about to go viral. So like negativity sells, unfortunately, you know, drama sells, like, oh, you know, this happened, or she losing her job, like that's about to go viral, unfortunately. But like, as far as comments, I just know it's psychology. So I'm gonna give you an example. I posted a video and someone's like, you look 18, you look so good for your age. I'm like, okay, period. I get that all the time. And then, you know, one hater is like, you look 37. I'm like, okay. So I responded to that video. I was like, do I look 37? I'm like, I'm not. And then everybody after that say, actually, you look 50. You look like you're in your 50s. This is going viral right now. So everyone's going, you look 50. And then after that, I responded to them like, so you guys say I look 50. And then it got worse. The comments said, no, you look like you're in your 60s.
Wow.
So I'm like, this is a social experiment just to show off how everybody is just like copying off of others. Like, you know, if everyone else is saying I look 50, they're like, nah, she looks 60. If everyone else says I look 18, they're like, yeah, she does look young, but it kept getting higher and higher. So I went from 18 to now I'm 60s.
Right.
Look at my TikTok right now, y'all.
That's crazy.
Literally everyone in my comments saying I look like I'm in my 60s. I look like I have a 30-year-old child.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah,
Nothing on the kids, too.
Yeah, so I was just like, you know, this is a really interesting social experiment that how everybody just follows each other and copies each other. Because y'all know, dang right, I don't look like no grandma.
And it's so sad that you want to feed off the negative energy so easy.
But you know what? I'm entertaining it because I'm getting views. Period.
Yeah, you're getting views, and at the same time, it's making you look good. 'Cause
Exactly.
I have this cup right here. And they're paying me for every view I get. So, boom,
Exactly.
you're helping-
So yeah, I'm just like going along with it. I'm like, I look 60, so right now I look like in my 60s according to TikTok, and that's okay with me because whatever.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, beautiful. So another question for you. What are some of the biggest ups that you received from being a social media influencer? Some ups that you thought would never come with this, besides the glitz and the glamour?
Ups like
benefits.
The benefits, like the pros.
Yeah, the pros, yes, sir.
Other than like the money and like the
Other than the money, my face is everywhere. I can't walk into the store without them wanting my
Stop.
autograph. Besides all of that.
Not autograph. Actually, I think someone asked for my daughter's autograph one time.
Oh.
She gets noticed everywhere because she's the star of the show. But of course, I think it's inspiring people. Like, okay, let me tell you this story real quick. I used to talk about, like, when I discovered that my daughter is autistic, I used to share that, like, the process. And then I shared, like, that's how I found out I'm autistic. And after sharing those stories, you know how many people discover that their kids are autistic after that? They're like, wow, like now that I understand what it is, thanks to you, like I'm able to get my kids help because I had no idea that's why they're this way. So I'm like, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I know I'm here on this planet because, a lot of people might be ashamed of that. Like, I don't want to talk about my kid's diagnosis. I don't want to talk about my diagnosis. But I'm like, if I didn't know until my daughter was 10, like imagine how many other people on this planet who has no idea that their child might be on the spectrum and they need some therapy so they could, get where they need to or have assistance in school. Because when you don't have that assistance at school, like the teachers are going to treat them like they're a bad child. Like if they can't be still, they can't focus, they might be talking back or something like that, and they're like, my kid's bad. No, they just have a disability. Have a need some extra help. So that's like one of my biggest things that I love about this, like inspiring others and like helping others. There's one time I posted a video about my daughter getting pneumonia but not knowing, and I had to go to 5 hospitals.
Oh wow.
Because none of them wanted to do anything about it. I'm like, she's 106-degree fever, and I vlogged it and shared my story, and they're like, thank you. Like, I saved people's lives. They're like, my daughter had a 106 fever too, and I had to, because of your video, I suggested pneumonia, and they tested, and my daughter had pneumonia. And like, that could have been bad. So I'm like, see, this me sharing my story literally is saving people's lives and like helping kids and
That's beautiful.
adults. So that's like one of the biggest things I love about it.
No, and that's beautiful because that's like the goal that we do for the podcast here. Give people the opportunity to share their stories, and a lot of people start to realize, like, you know what, I may have ADHD because like that one guy, I cannot remember his name.
I know who you're talking about though.
But he has a whole ADHD app that he created.
Oh, wonderful.
That's like designed to help you be able to focus.
I
and
need that.
Yeah, be more functional with. I'll send it to you after the show.
Okay.
But I think that awareness is amazing for sure, and that's like one of my ultimate goals too. Just get people awareness and let them know, like, you're not the only one out here living this story or going through things, and you can make it through. This person can make it through for sure.
I was gonna say that's part of the reason why I started going back to school for psychotherapy, just to be able to help them, be able to process whatever they're going through.
Right.
Especially since I've had my own qualms in my past too.
Right.
So just being able to give back to the community and things like that.
Right. Beautiful.
And especially if I can bring this to the podcast or my church too, it's just kind of spread that awareness, that help, that love.
Right. Exactly. I'm trying to help the world go around just a little bit better. So then, time for the opposite now. What are some of the downs or the cons that you have for being a social media influencer?
I was just talking to my friend about this in the car, leaving the NASCAR tournament, but I was like, there is cons to it. I told her, this is kind of deep, I'm like, I feel like sometimes like selling your soul because, I believe in like energy. So when I'm entertaining and putting out my energy and to receive and read negativity all the time, I feel like is really bad for the soul.
It is.
And I know people are like, just ignore it, but words is words. So just to see negative things about my kids or me, it's just like, it goes in your brain subconsciously. So I feel like it's bad. It's really bad. Like that's like the negative part about it. And also, it's a very inconsistent job. So, like, I don't know if I'm not going to get paid
Right.
You know, sometimes I'm like, dang, I didn't get no paycheck for the last 4 months, you know?
yeah.
So it's just a very like inconsistent job. Sometimes if the economy's down, the brands are down. Like they're not paying right now, or, you know, TikTok is canceled one day and next day it's not. So it's like, dang, you know, TikTok just removed music. So I'm like,
Right.
well, I'm a dancer. So now what am I going to do?
Right.
So it's just like a very unpromising career. But, you know, at the same time, I get paid with one brand deal enough to pay my mortgage for a year or two. Just from
wow.
one brand deal. So that's like the pros. But, and another thing is I work 24/7. So that's not good.
Right.
Yeah.
I work 24/7, and there was a point in my time that my kids are like, you work too much. Like, that's all you do. They're like crying. Like, all you do is work. Like, you don't have time for us. I was like, dang, I got to change something.
Yeah.
So that's another downside to
I was
it.
gonna say, like, off of that, when's the last time you had like a vacation or like actual time for yourself?
Like with no cameras though. I mean,
Yeah.
That's what
like,
I
not
was gonna
following
say.
yourself.
So like a lot of my vacations are brand deals or brand trips. So like I have to film the
The whole
entire
time.
time I'm there, and like that's exhausting because I don't get to relax on the beach. I'm like, well, the brand deal wants me to record on the beach or something, you know. So the last time without cameras, I can't remember. I
mean,
can't
right now.
remember.
Oh, yeah, cameras now. Never mind. Take that back.
Exactly. I cannot remember, but I do notice that like, if I'm going out to eat or I'm doing stuff with my friends, like, you're not going to see that in my stories because I'm trying to relax. Like,
Right.
maybe the average person, like, oh, yeah, my meal. And I'm, okay, y'all have fun. I'm going to tear this food up. Like,
Right.
I don't want to film. I don't want to think about it. So that's what I just been doing. Like, I try to just give myself mental breaks and my own intimacy with myself and, like, when I'm out. So I do want to, that's like my goal this year. My goal this year is to, you know, home and business, like, separate that, so I can have more time with my kids. And so this year I told myself, like, I'm going to have more of a simple life. Like, I don't even think I'm gonna do a vacation this year. If I do, it's gonna be like a staycation or something like that, because I just know I'm gonna, like, subconsciously want to film or, like, you know,
Right.
things like that. So I'm just gonna slow down this year for my mental health, because last year was one of the hardest working years for me.
Yeah.
Why you say that?
Well, I was getting a divorce, and that was like a transition right there. Then I bought my own house by myself, and, like, the kids having a transition. And then it was one of my worst years when it came to getting paid after I bought my house. After that, and then after that, it became the best deals. Like, I had been, so then I started making money. So it was like a emotional roller coaster. So, like, at the end, we get paid by, like, quarters. Like, brands get paid by quarters, like, you know, first quarter. So the fourth quarter, for some reason, the brands always wait. And I was booked and busy, and I was overbooked. Like, but I'm like, I need this money, so I was overbooked. So it was just overwhelming. Like, it was just like an emotional roller coaster last year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm glad you made it through. I'm glad you
Right.
enjoyed the ride, and
Yeah.
I'm sure it was worth it.
It is, yeah, a lot of learning lessons. I did like 8 trips last year, or 8 brand trips or something like that. So, like, I didn't even get to enjoy my house that I bought. I was always traveling. So this year I'm like, I'm not trying to travel.
Right.
Like, yes, I'll take a couple brand trips, but, like, I'm talking about the last 6 months I did like 8 trips. So it was like a lot, and I just moved. I still have it unpacked.
Oh wow.
Like, even now?
No.
Oh wow.
Help.
Suitcase.
Who wants to help me? I mean, yeah, I don't. The suitcases are unpacked, but like my house, like, from moving to my house to my apartment, like, I'm still,
Trying to get it all together.
yeah, I need help.
It's all right. It's coming. It's coming this year. You're gonna be done by summer. Let's say by summer.
I don't think so.
Wishful thinking?
Yeah, wishful thinking.
I don't think so, but, you know, by the end of the year is my goal, like, to have my house furnished and unpacked and comfortable.
Love it. It's gonna happen, no question. So let's go into our end game a little bit, and I have a few extra questions for you, and then we can get out of here for today. So one of my first questions is going to be: you talked about the energy that you receive. Definitely, when you get the negative comments and the energy can leave on you, how do you release that energy and let it go? Because, you know, at the end of the day, you have to keep that smile on your face and still show happiness. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
And, you know, come enjoy this brand. So how do
Yeah.
you throw on that smile and get that positive energy going again?
I think it's just like mindset. You just have to teach yourself that they're projecting. Like literally every comment is projecting. If I'm doing a nice video about helping my kids and you mad about that, that has nothing to do with me. So I just block and delete, and I'm like, I'm not numb to it, but you know, of course, certain things I'm like, y'all, dang, y'all pushing my buttons. But most of them I'm like, okay, anyways, block, delete. Like, I don't know. I kind of just like, let it go. I'm just like, anyways, you know, there might be one comment that might just tick me off because they might say some crazy stuff, but I get over it so fast. I think it's because I'm so busy. I just don't have time to think about that.
Right.
Like my kids are crying now. Okay, anyways, so like I have more bigger things to worry about.
Right, exactly.
Honestly.
I love it. Don't dwell on the negative at all.
I
Just
don't.
focus on the positive and know that great things are coming.
Yeah.
I love it. I think that's beautiful. So, so you're on the Just Keep Swimming podcast. So we always ask our guests 2 last questions before we end for the day. Oh, unless you had another question first, bro. No. Do we have any more questions from the audience, Mr. Producer?
Negative.
Negative. Cool. All right, cool. So my first question for you is, where are you still swimming to, definitely where it comes to being a social media influencer? And when I say still swimming to, my mindset is we're on this island right now and we're swimming. That's us taking the journey to the next island. But once I get to the island, I know there's going to be another island for me to get to. There's always a mountain to climb. So I'm just curious on what's the next island that you're swimming to?
The next island that I'm swimming to is the road to 1 million. So I want to get 1 million followers, especially on TikTok. For some reason, like once you hit 1 million followers, you get like more incentives and stuff like that, like better management sometimes, or like, I don't know, more brand trips or deals, or certain brands want to work with you, and you, I don't know, you just get more perks. That's one of my goals. I guess a bigger goal right now is just to have like a community. It's something that I kind of had a challenge for years, is like building this like strong community. I think it's because I changed my niche so much. It's like one day I'm cranking that Soldier Boy. Next day I'm talking about autism.
Right.
Next day I'm making oxtails. So my page is all over the place. So like some people are following me like, girl, cook again. And then the other half is like, are you going to do
back to
Sierra? Like, you know, like what is, like I get a dance. So like right now I'm like, I need to figure out like to have a strong brand. So like if you think of Kanye, you think of something. You think of Doja Cat, you think of her. Like me is like, what do you think of?
Right.
You know, it's kind of like, I don't know, autism, you know, like so many things. So like I'm trying to figure that out, and I think that's like my biggest goal this year, is like figuring out my brand as me. Just so when you think of me, you think of one thing, or like she's that girl who does this, you know. Right now it's like she does a lot of things. So I know my personality. That's what I'm trying to get to. Like, is my personality is the brand instead of what I do.
Right.
So that's like my biggest thing, and I also want to start selling like a product or a course or something like that.
Do you have like merch or anything?
I don't. Merch, I think, is more like YouTubers. Because what kind of merch would I sell? You know?
I mean, cookbook.
Cookbook, or, you know, smile for 365 days. Whatever you want to do, something like that would be cool.
No, I think merch is like not as trendy as it used to be.
Right.
I think for YouTubers, yeah, but I think for like TikTokers and like lifestyle people, like
There's merch everywhere.
Yeah, it's just
more
like
products though, just like general products or something.
So I do like affiliate marketing with like Amazon and stuff, but as far as like a picture of me on a T-shirt, nobody want to buy that.
You never know. You never know.
I'll
you
get
might
2
sell
sales.
Out. You never know. But I think that would be great though. Some type of class.
Yeah, something to help someone. Like I feel like if I'm going to sell something, it's either going to help or it's going to be something that I love, like something I would wear or use. Like I'm not going to wear nobody's merch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why would I sell it if I know I'm not going to wear nobody's merch?
Right.
Like unless it's like in my house, you know what I'm saying? So like I want to sell a product that's useful or something that I would use myself.
Right. No, and that's beautiful, and I fully feel that one. Like I was saying earlier, you know, or like with the branding.
Yeah.
I'm not going to represent a brand that I don't like, or
Exactly.
that's not going to represent me. So
Yeah.
no, I truly agree with that one. And then my last question for you you is there a quote you would like to leave us with today? I know we prepped for this last week, so you should be ready for this. You forgot it?
No.
Oh, okay.
I came prepared.
Good. I like it. Nice, professional.
Very professional. So my quote for the day is, don't downgrade your dreams to match your reality. Upgrade your belief to match your vision, period.
Period. Don't downgrade your dreams to match your reality.
Upgrade your belief to match your vision.
Upgrade your belief to match your vision. I love it.
That's what I did.
That's the beauty. That right there is the mindset of tomorrow's gonna be a brighter day.
Yeah.
You know, don't give up now. Don't say that, oh, I'm not worth this, so I'm not gonna fight for it. No, you are worth it. Keep fighting, keep swimming, keep doing what you gotta do, and you're gonna be there. You're gonna be shining like Miss Ayumi over here.
Yeah, you gotta work for it.
I also I kind of technically have a quote.
Oh, yes, please share it with us.
I just actually posted it on my story today. But I was like, it's easy to look at where other people are in their lives at a certain age and believe you need to be there too. You can be tempted to take matters into your own hands and rush things because you are growing impatient. But it's when you rush decisions that you often don't make the best decision for the long haul. And I kind of just relate that to, don't be so quick to shut down your dreams just because it doesn't feel right at the moment. Like, you can still take baby steps. And you got so many years on this life. Why give up now? You know?
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
Love it.
Yeah, and I think that's the mindset too of, be patient. Be patient. Everybody wants it to happen right now, instantly. I think I say it all the time. Big Sean said it the best. It took me 10 years to be overnight success. And everybody thinks, is this overnight? Nope.
No, it's not. People don't see that.
Yeah, they don't see the grind, the time, the emotion,
sweat, and tears. Yeah.
Man, the anger on the backside sometimes when things don't work out the way you want to. Yeah. So, just keep swimming, you guys. Miss Ayumi, thank you so much for joining us today. We truly appreciate you sharing the time, definitely for your super, super busy schedule. Thank you so much for coming out. If there are any shout-outs or anything you'd like to make before we leave today?
Mama, I love you. P.O.P. Hold it down.
Mama, I love you.
P.O.P. Hold it down.
I love it. Well, yes, Ayumi, thank you so much for coming, man. We appreciate you. We're going to try to get you on again sometime in the future for sure, no question. So hopefully you're not too big for us by then. Or hopefully we're not too big for you by then. Let's go for that. Yeah, that mindset. Yeah. That mindset. Yeah. We blowing up, baby.
Hey, not too big for me.
Hey, you never know. I might charge you next time.
I was with you shooting at the gym, so.
You know what? And you were, though. You was in there helping me dribble.
Exactly. So don't try to act brand new when you become big.
Trust me, I'll never forget. We had, Mr. Goose mouth class?
His name is Mr. Owboy.
No, it was Mr. Williams or something. I have no idea what his name was. But he could not say parabola. He was, if you get the parabola.
He couldn't say my name.
He can say Ayumi.
He said Akuma. He said, Akuma, get out my classroom right now. Get out. He kicked me out every day.
I mean.
What did I do? Why did he kick me out every day?
One day you was doing sit-ups mid-class.
What?
You was doing sit-ups. That's all I remember. I remember you sitting out there and pumping out 25 sit-ups, and I'm like.
And he just kicked me out.
Yeah, he was like, you might as well just go to the game. You already know where you're going.
Like, man, what if she was getting the energy out that she, wouldn't be popping off in class later? Like,
hey, man. Hey, my job was just take notes and make sure she passed. That's all I had to do. So, yes, man. Well, Ayumi, thank you so much. We truly appreciate you again for everything you've done. Best luck to you in the future and all the future endeavors. And you're going to be big. You already got it.
Thank you.
Mr. Tease Mac and Mr. Vegas Vibrations, thank you guys so much for joining us and make sure this is possible today. Amazing producer. Make sure you check out Tease Mac's Productions. If you guys need your live recording needs, he got you for sure.
Yeah. Oh, God. Came in tough?
Yeah, with that big ear. Yeah. He scared me.
You're right.
We got Mr. 13 sitting next to me as always. Good to have you back, brother. Thank you so much for the time and everything you've done. Make sure you check out his future projects. He has a lot of beats coming.
I actually just kind of created like a concept for my next album. So.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Hey, it's probably not coming out anytime soon.
About to go down.
But baby steps, and I feel like this is going to be like a good little passion project for me. So
baby steps, baby.
Yeah.
All right, everybody out there listening today and watching, thank you guys so much for joining us today. Which camera am I looking in? The middle one?
This one, yeah.
The middle one? Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We appreciate your time. Be on the lookout for next week's episode. We have an amazing real estate agent coming on to talk about how he's making millions in the real estate. You don't want to miss that.
Sir.
So with that being said, I hope you guys had a wonderful day, a marvelous afternoon, a splendid evening, and remember to just keep swimming. Ayumi, just keep swimming one time.
Just keep swimming.
Yeah.
Passion. Where's passion at? Where's the passion?
Just keep swimming.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Thank you so much. Have a good night, you guys. Peace.
Clear.